O'Brien.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tammy O'Brien, coming to you live from TFNN just after 3 p.m. Eastern Time. We got 53 minutes left to go in the trading day, and you have markets picking up steam to the downside. Right across the board, you have the S&Ps right now off by 1.34%. But boy, you talk about the Dow. The Russell leading the way down. Dow off 1.4%. Bank stocks lower. We'll get into that. How about the Russell? Off by 2.2% right now. The Russell, 2342. You're almost back to where we were in July of 2024. Yeah, how about that? Within about 22 points of where we were July of 2024 in the Russell. You jump over the Dow right now, 46,564. We put it back on a short-term chart. And yeah, you see the acceleration. Begins at about 1230. You're trading at 47,245. We're 700 points below that price level, folks. And boy, we got a whole hour almost left in the trading day. Dow off by 1.4% right now. NASDAQ off by 1.3%. And the S&P's off by 1.3% as well. And I mentioned the Russell off by 2.2%. Bitcoin, it's not stopping. We just made session lows in the last 5 minutes or so since 3 o'clock. You're trading right now, Bitcoin off by $2,800, off 3%, 91,550. You jump over to Ethereum, off by 5.6% on Ethereum. Back up Ethereum, folks, and Ethereum's its own animal and has been. Excuse me, but look at this chart. Back to February of 2024, and you just traded from 4,900 to 2,900 in a period of 3 months on Ethereum. Remarkable. You jump over to Coinbase today. Yeah, how about it? Coinbase off by 8.2%. Now, something to keep in mind here is it was quite a run. Okay, when you came into that election, Coinbase was still at 176. All right, you get the crypto president, and it accelerates higher. And basically, we're just now sitting at the top of this bar that you had from when you're talking about Coinbase. And you can make almost the same scenario. You should pull back Bitcoin. Okay, you see the acceleration from the week of November 4th. So all this happened is we've traded back to that first initial move. From 66,000 to 92,000 in Bitcoin, we're right back there. And, downward pressure, though, in a big way. The altcoins getting destroyed and buyers struggling to step in. We jump over to the dollar right now, and we got some dollar strength. 99.57 right now. We take a look at the longer-term trajectory. You make a low of 96.21. That was a Fed meeting, I believe, September 17th. We've come a long way since expectations on September 17th, 2 months ago to the day. As in rate cuts in focus, December 10th meeting. Not as likely as they were to undersell that at their last meeting. And right now, we will pull up those marks. I have the pictures up here. Let's take a look at it right now because it's remarkable how quickly we've moved in a month. You take a look at what the market's pricing in right now. About a 45% chance we get a cut. 55% chance no cut. Okay? A month ago, there was a 0% chance that you weren't going to get a cut. Okay? And the only question was whether we were going to get a cut or 2 cuts. Yeah. Now, you go to January. Boy, this is moving. 34% chance we don't get any cuts by January. 0% chance again. So we've changed a lot in a month. Rates on the rise. Dollar catching a little bit of a bid. And that's been a bit of a headwind for gold. And gold is just some selling. And why is it trading lower? Because they're selling it, folks. Look at that volume. 12,700 contracts in gold on a 15-minute basis. At 2:30, you trade from 4,060 down to below 40.20. Let's check out the volume now. Now, here's the thing. On a weekly basis for gold, okay? Let's check out the volume here. You traded higher last week with volume picking up. 1.4 million contracts almost on the gold contract, okay? Above the 1 million you did the week prior. But you had 2 weeks of sell-offs of 1.8 and 1.4, okay? But on a weekly, you could say you traded higher with volume. But when you get into a shorter-term basis, as the week went on, the selling and the volume came in on Thursday and Friday. Yeah. And we'll see how the day finishes, but we're getting some volume right now. Like I just said, we just did 12,000 contracts in 15 minutes, so you're going to get some volume. We're already at 216,000 on the day, And we're coming back in to test that 2,000 level. You look at silver. Silver, the selling, right off the top. Okay, you break. That's an all-time high on silver on Thursday, 54.41. You can't hold it. Okay, you give it up. You trade lower from the prior day. You trade lower with picking up increased volume. The next day, Friday, you trade lower with even more volume. 126,000 contracts versus 122. I'm not sure we're going to break that today at 69,000, but that was an all-time high. And you couldn't hold it. You gave it up. You gave it up with volume, and you got a little. You didn't get a little. You got follow-through on Friday. So, yeah. And I put out a new issue of the Gold Report today, folks. And what I said, okay, and please come check out the Gold Report if you like. Right on the newsletter tab at TFNN. Comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. But in general, number one, you've had a nice way for the good equities to separate from the bad equities on this pullback. Okay, we've had pullbacks across the board. Some of them more intense than others, some of them with quality volume, some of them with very thin volume. And right now, the way the market's pulling out some of the cuts in the expectations, rates are facing a pressure higher. There's pressure right now on the dollar. Jump over to dollar yen. Okay, look at this run. Backing it up. There's your September 17th. Okay, when our dollar was pushing 96, look at the yen since then, from 145 to 155. So we have yen weakness, dollar strength. We check out the euro US dollar. It's a different story. All right? Yeah, no, not as pronounced. From 119 to 115. Okay, so 4 pennies. But there's pressure right now, and that's causing some short-term pullbacks in gold. But guess what, folks? It's been a heck of a run. It's a natural retracement in a bull market in gold. You just traded on a monthly basis, almost straight line. For a 2-year period, from October 2023 at 1,800, on a straight line move to 4,400. You put that thing on a weekly, we had 2 pauses. You could back it up. That run began on February of 2024 at about 2,000. You consolidated. We really never had a pullback. This is the first time. So, metals under pressure. Crypto under pressure. We're coming back with our man Steve Rhodes, folks. Don't go away. We'll be right back.